I don't believe it. That's Clone Force 99.
This is Wrecker, Hunter, Echo, Tech, and Crosshair.
Obviously, we are different.
We're all you need.
They call themselves the Bad Batch. Experimental Unit Clone Force 99. The defective clones with desirable mutations.
This is one meeting I don't want to miss.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Dad Batch Podcast, episode 89. My name is Stevie Kicks, and I am one of your three hosts today. Of course, with us, as always, the other Dad Batchers, your Space Daddies. First up, he's the real-life cross dad with a sparkling personality. It's Brian Cook. How you doing, sir?
Wait till you find out about Plan 89.
Oh,
That's when it really goes down.
Plan 89. You go first.
Yeah, it's probably tomorrow. It's probably tomorrow or next week.
Next week. Right on. Next up, this is my partner, Francois, but you can call him Remy Shanaday.
Is that one of the ones, or did you just make that up?
That is one of the ones.
Okay, that's a very simple one. Okay. Hi, happy to be here.
Good. Joe and John are not with us tonight. They are, I don't know, they're off doing stuff.
Well, Tech's dead. So
Wow. Tex and
Tex and Texas. Tex-Mex.
Oh my gosh. I've got a great idea for his new Instagram handle if he changes it like everybody else does.
Yeah. Dude, what is going on with all you guys? Freaking
Tex Batch.
I know Pabu Frick. That's fine.
That's a good one.
What was John's push broom John for like 2 hours?
Push broom John, yeah.
And then somebody tried to steal his alpha ignition.
Well, yeah.
He's like, no, you can't have it. That you can't. How does he even know that happened?
I don't know.
Like, because you can't actually take someone's, like, you've got a period of days or something before your old name is made available to somebody other than you. So
I'm gonna steal our Shanaday in like
have fun
whatever
with that.
it is a week.
Oh man.
Have fun with that.
What's up, guys? How's everyone doing?
Good. I'll put on my orange hunting hat.
Doing good.
Do you wear that orange hat when you go hunting?
Mm-hmm.
Is that why the deer? Is that why you don't get any deer?
This is from
So
El
you're saying,
Dorado
oh,
Outpost.
There's the orange hat guy.
Well, they all
away
have
from
to do
him.
it during rifle season. It's a requirement by law.
Oh, that it has to be orange?
Yes, you have to have a 100% orange hat and visible orange on the front and back of your body.
And this is because
During
the deer
rifle
can't see in
season.
color. Like they're colorblind.
Apparently they cannot. Yeah,
Oh.
they see movement.
I think the deer have been successful in that disinformation. And
I don't believe that because there are a lot of dead deer. A lot of deer get shot.
Oh man.
Yeah, but
I'm only basing it off. I'm a sampling of one because I'm only basing it off of how many you've actually shot.
yes, what I have done and what is out there is far different.
When does it start? When does your season start?
September. Yeah.
Oh, you got some time.
Yeah.
What's up, Remy? What's going on?
Hey, I saw Seinfeld last night. That was cool. He was in town.
Oh yeah.
So
Step
he
down.
his work brings him to the LA area frequently, so it's good to see him.
Did you guys hang out or?
Yeah, we just he likes to meet up at Scum and Villainy Cantina, so
Good spot.
time there.
It's a good
hung out
time there.
Like we closed the place out. We were literally the last people there.
Oh, it was like that.
Yeah. Some of the employees started leaving before we did.
Wow.
There was like 2 people left. It was good.
Dang. What else? I'm trying to think of what else I've done. I've just been working, man. I'm on
Yeah.
work mode right now. So
Seriously,
the grind
Work-
is happening.
work's been kicking my butt.
Same. Handful of us did a little bit of secret squirrel stuff for Mosh Isley over the weekend.
Oh yeah.
So
was
we can
cool.
say that we worked on something for Mosh Isley, the one that'll be in San Diego, but can't say what yet.
I took the family to Universal Studios because we have the passes.
Oh, nice.
And I stopped by the place that you guys were recording at to drop off a helmet for you for that thing. And it was my first time there. It was really cool. And I got to meet I finally got to meet in person Alton James.
Yeah, that's right.
Really cool dude. Got super good vibes off of him. We like clicked immediately. Definitely somebody I would love to hang out with again in the future.
Yeah, he does. Tell the listeners, for anybody that doesn't know, I mean, anybody that follows any of Forrester's podcasts would know who Alton is, but
I want to get this right. I want to get this right. So I don't want to call him something that he's not. Alton James, and you can find him on Instagram at Alton_James. He's a composer, a post-production sound engineer, and an owner at altonjamesmedia.com. And I mean, he's put together all the tracks for some of the podcasts that you've heard out there, like Armor Party, and a few others. But man, he's just a really cool dude. Like, I've always heard of him. I've never actually like spoken with him, but we were like immediately just talking X-Men right off the bat, and then Star Wars, and yeah, he's a cool guy.
That's sick.
Definitely, he's our people. He's one of our people. So
yeah,
one of us.
Yeah, and I had an extra costume that I was originally going to have to do costume change for what we were doing, and I had more than one suit there. And I looked at him. I'm like, you're about my size. I'm like, here, go suit up. You're going to be here. You're going to be in this thing. So we threw a costume on him, and
was that his first time suiting up?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. At least in anything like that. So it was good.
Wow. How do you do?
He did good. We'll see if it ends up being anything other than like pictures for his profile picture or what if he does anything else. But it was fun.
Reminder for this group, since he's not here, it's John's birthday tomorrow.
Oh,
cue the music.
So as of the date that this podcast drops, I mean, we're recording tonight, but it'll drop tomorrow, which means
Steven?
What?
Hey, John.
He's not here.
I know you could. This is
I'm just kidding.
cue for you. Into the sprinkler. There you go. That's his birthday.
I'm glad you reminded me. I would have forgotten.
Now we can forget about it.
No,
I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna DoorDash him a cupcake.
Oh, just one cupcake, a mini one,
Yeah.
like a little, like those little like, tiny ones.
Uh-huh.
You're all, hey, can you put a candle in it too, please? I mean, those Uber drivers or DoorDash drivers, they'll do whatever.
Just address it to Amy. Don't even send it to John. Just send it to Amy.
Happy birthday, Amy.
Happy birthday, Amy. Yeah.
Oh
man. You guys been watching anything? Oh, so no, I was gonna say. So we went to the Disney. Universal. Thanks. Yeah, we went to the Universal thing. We did the Mario stuff again, and my youngest was now able to get on the ride for the first time.
Oh, psyching.
Dude, he was so stoked for his first ride to be Mario Kart, like a video game that it's like the only video game he can play. It's like his mind was blown. Yeah, for sure. So he's hooked. Cool. He wants to go back because I know you guys haven't gone yet, but the Mario Kart ride, you're in Mario Kart. It's really cool. It really is.
Can you like throw stuff at the other players?
Yeah, that's the whole point. It's like
Nice.
you're literally in Mario Kart, but it's a roller coaster ride. And
Okay, I
then,
know. Yeah, what's the movement like? Like, is it a roller coaster, or are you actually driving
no.
around in cars,
Um,
or is it just like Star Tours where it just moves you, or what?
it's like you're on a track,
Okay.
uh, like just like Buzz Lightyear. Have you guys been on Buzz Lightyear?
Oh yeah, I know
Mhm.
Buzz.
It's just like Buzz Lightyear, like the movement. So your cubby or your box, whatever, gets to like rotate back and forth,
Oh
rotate 360.
yeah,
But then
cool.
instead of shooting, you're driving, and then you can throw stuff like you're throwing fireballs and
Rad.
mushrooms and whatever it is that you pick up along the track. But then the cool thing is that like everything's in the AR display on your face,
Okay.
Oh sweet.
so it's really cool. It's really neat. Yeah, highly recommend.
That's
But
right.
of course, we spent too much on food.
That'll happen.
It's amusement park, so there you go.
$6 waters and ugh.
And you can't bring them in either, huh? Even when you can, I always forget.
But then on the way back home, we started watching Formula One Drive to Survive on Netflix.
Cool. I've seen
Nice.
that. Yeah.
That came from it was a recommendation from friend of the pod BK, and yeah, we're hooked. Like
It's
we're
cool.
absolutely hooked. I was already looking up like when's the next F1 race coming to California, and
Or we just
like
go to
all this-
Vegas and do it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a Long Beach Grand Prix, which
Long Beach. Yeah.
There's
I
Long
think
Beach.
just happened. Yeah.
I
we
looked
did,
into getting the grandstand tickets for Vegas because their first one was last year. Tickets last year were $300 for grandstand. Tickets this year for grandstand, which are sold out, are $1,500
Yeah,
for
it's crazy.
grandstand. It went up 5 times, like
Yeah. Well,
I
when
think
you
can't even get it.
Go
when
ahead,
you
Brian.
watch that show too, how expensive those races
Oh.
are. I mean, they spend millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Each
It's
hundreds
team,
of
money.
each
Hundreds of
team.
millions. Yeah.
Yeah, each team spends
Yeah.
just for that one day.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And then you
So
get
much.
one of those like punk kid drivers who just like crash into his teammate on the first lap.
I know. I've been watching it too.
Ah.
I'm in season 2 already, and I've been watching this. Like, what kills me is the amount of like they just don't give an F about their own teammate. It is every driver for themselves. And I mean, some of them come across as very nice guys, but then some of them are just a-holes to everybody.
Silver spoon a-holes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's like if I was the
part,
team
yeah.
principal for one of those teams, I'd be like, you're out. We
Yeah.
don't want that kind of attitude around here. But I think that just goes with the territory, and it makes for some sensationalized action on the show. So there's probably part of that plays into it.
There's like a certain mentality that you have to be, not mentality. There's a certain personality that it takes to be a race car driver, a fighter pilot, a fighter jet pilot, an astronaut. Like there's a certain personality it takes to be one of those guys. And unfortunately, they're not always the nicest people.
Nope.
I was laughing hard when one of the little kid fans, they asked one of the guys there, one of the drivers, they were like, "Oh, how many races have you won?" And the guy was like, "Well, none yet." And all the kids' faces were just like, "Why are you here?"
It reminds me of that movie
yeah.
Gran Turismo. That's a fun movie.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, same
That
thing.
movie's awesome.
Well, not same thing, but yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
And then I was just watching X-Men 97. I mean, it drops on the same night as Bad Batch, so it's like as soon as the Bad Batch credits are done, I'm right into X-Men. It is so masterfully done. It's like
I still
so
haven't
good.
watched it.
They were doing an X-Men night. At Scum and Vilnius last night.
Oh, really?
They
You
had
didn't tell me that.
They had some of the artists that were there, and they were signing stuff. It was packed. Yeah, like how there's that room in the front, and they've got like the couple computer terminals or whatever that are in that front room, and then there's the main bar. I never even other than to walk through to go to the bathroom, we never even went into the main bar area because it was so full of people that were there for X-Men night, and they were in costumes. They had a watch party, and then as soon as the show was over, then they most of them kind of bailed out after that, and it cleared out. But it was busy there for a while.
Dude, you didn't tell me that. I would have shown up for them. I mean, not you, not you or Justin. I would have shown up for them.
Well, they're there every Wednesday night, Steven. Every
right.
Wednesday night they do that.
Oh man,
I haven't watched that show yet. I'll watch it at some point in time. I don't know, but that new Deadpool trailer, though.
I was gonna play it on the show, but dude, it's such a red band trailer. We can't play it on our show.
Oh,
I would have
says
to
the
edit.
F word. I mean, it's.
I would have to
built into
edit the whole thing.
It's so good.
But yeah, it's really
There's no way they can mess that up, right? There's no way. It's impossible. Ryan Reynolds would not.
they're literally like resuscitating the entire MCU with this movie.
He's Marvel Jesus.
Marvel Jesus.
Yeah, it's too good.
Dude,
You guys been watching anything?
I watched something and I can't remember. I haven't watched much TV, and I watched something over the weekend. I can't remember what it was.
Tell me it's Shogun. Tell me you guys are watching Shogun.
I need to catch up on Shogun.
Okay, because they had the finale this week.
Yeah. And
I haven't even started it. It's on my list.
And then, did you guys see that Star Wars, that like the Star Wars Instagram posted like a split screen of like
Yeah.
the Jedi Council and Shogun like side by side? I was like, oh,
that's the ultimate marketing scheme for Disney Plus and Hulu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Shogun's on Disney Plus, right?
It's on Hulu.
It's okay. Which
And they cross
puts it on
when
Disney
you go
Plus,
on
yeah.
Disney Plus, Shogun comes up on it. So, which is weird.
Oh man, so do I have to have Hulu? If I see that and then I go try and play it and I don't have Hulu, what's it gonna do?
Try it. Go try it right now.
I guess I can try it right
you have to have Hulu. It's on FX.
That's right. Yeah, but why they advertise on Disney Plus? To get you to buy Hulu.
Yeah.
I'm curious because I don't remember if I have it. I don't know. I don't think I have a Hulu subscription. So
A couple things that I just wanted to touch on, some business items before we move on. Let's see here. Steph said in the chat, Mosh Isley tickets for San Diego are still on sale.
Woo-hoo.
That's going to be, I think, the Friday of Comic-Con, which I think is July 25, if I'm not mistaken.
We will be there.
We will be there, partying it up. Oh, and that happens to also be the release date of Deadpool. So we're going to be watching that together too. Not at Mosh, but in San Diego. And then speaking of San Diego, why is my thing not working here?
Yeah, there it is. Raimi.
for me, it just works.
See?
Maybe I
you don't have the trifecta. You don't have Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN.
I'd have to look.
That's what I do. Signed up for it.
Also, sorry.
No, go ahead.
June 8. This coming June 8 is the prop swap. Second year for the prop swap. We'll also be there. It's gonna. So far, they have confirmed vendors like Pilot Bay, Retro Collector, Dr. Sci-Fi, Planet Camino, TD Outpost, Star Wars Replicas will be there, Scum and Villainy Acquisitions, Imperial Surplus, The Dad Batch, Mangtastic Props, Paints and Props, Trooper Bay.
Dude, Trooper Bay posted the best thing, and it was Mark Hamill in a Stormtrooper outfit. Is all Mark Hamill will not be at the prop swap. It's so good.
Yeah. So we'll be there. We'll be selling our wares, and Raimi will be signing autographs with his big nozzle.
Oh God.
Wow.
I think that's it for business items for now.
And
don't forget, because you might be listening to this episode before the next one releases. So Thursday, May 2nd is which is next Thursday, is the release of Star Wars Celebration tickets.
Cool, yeah.
So check your local timing and make sure that you're, if you are planning to go, get those tickets.
Somebody asked if we were going to do a watch party for the finale next week, but I don't think that's the anticipation is going to be too hard. I don't know how we would pull that off. So, because I'm definitely not staying up till 3 a.m. That's number one.
We don't have to do it like when it launches. We could do it at like
but who's going to not watch all day?
No, that's fine. But we could. Well, that's true.
So what's the point? You know what I mean?
We could watch it an hour before the pod together.
John's definitely going to watch it before. Like, it's hard to hold out all day and be like, "Oh, let's wait," you know.
We'll talk about it this week. Because Joe and John should be back.
I'm in Colorado
next week.
I'm working.
Oh, so you won't be on the pod. Are you going to be on the pod?
That's right. No, I won't be on the pod. I come home that night.
Dang. You'll have to call in or something, or like record your thoughts, and we'll play it on the show.
I'm gonna have to watch it on my phone in a hotel room in the morning.
Yeah, and next week we don't have the option of moving to Thursday night.
I know,
like we have been. So
sorry, Brian. Well, thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. Our listeners literally make this show possible. So if you'd like to show your support for the pod, pick up your brand new Crosshair Space Daddy shirt and stickers at thedadbatch.com.
This garbage is nothing like clone armor.
Looks a little tight on you, old man.
Yeah, at least I know how to wear it.
That's right, everybody. It's time for the weekly workbench. All right, gentlemen, who is working on what?
I'm up first. Okay. Friendly reminder, I posted this on Instagram. I finally released the files for Omega's Energy Bow last Friday. Those are up, available through the link in my bio. You can go to my free STLs, and it's under the Bad Batch folder, so you can get in there and get those files and stuff.
You said Omega's Energy Bill.
That's what I heard.
I was all what?
Bo. Did not mean to say Bill. But yeah, that so they're up there along with everything else. And thanks, Steph, for dropping the link in the chat here. I've been working on this jacket. So I got this leather jacket, and of course I can't leave things alone. So at first I started taking off the zippers because there aren't usually zippers in Star Wars. And then I'm like, well, I gotta. Some of the Star Wars jackets have like, a whole section that's just a different color or whatever. And so like, okay, well, I'll put the blue quilting that I do on my denizen suit in there. Like, oh, I'm going to add some orange over here. And I had to take zippers out of the cuffs, so I better replace that with something. So before you know it, I've like redone a bunch of stuff. So here's the jacket. This black rectangle here is where like there will be a com pad that I'm printing, and I've got some details I can show on that. But like the jacket already had like some cool details. So it had this pleating on the elbows and like stitching here and across the yoke. So I replaced this with the blue quilting. This piece here, I put my Burgundy Squadron patch on there because it fits in quite nicely.
Is that a Wolverine jacket?
I have no idea. I wouldn't know what a Wolverine jacket looks like. So
I mean, it looks like a motorcycle jacket. I
didn't buy it as a Wolverine jacket. So
okay.
This is where the sleeve had a zipper because it was cuffed and stuff. You could like expand the zip. So I just put that in there. So
do you have a heavy duty sewing machine?
Yeah, I just run this through my sewing machine, and it is a heavy duty one. People ask me a lot what I use. It's a $200 what is it, Singer?
Oh yeah,
that I got at Walmart, and it's heavy duty. So
got it. That's cool. Because is that leather or is it faux leather?
This is leather. This isn't particularly thick leather, but thin. I buy like the big. I'll go to Tandy Leather and buy the big sides that are thick. And I can sandwich 2 of those plus a layer of Velcro together and run that through the machine too. I mean, it sounds like I'm banging a hammer against it, and it's like thunk, 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 as it's going down, but it does work it. So
one of the things that I learned too, because we don't in my house, we don't have a heavy duty sewing machine, but I did purchase special needles And
Oh,
so
yeah.
the needles themselves are the heavy duty needles. They're like extra thick, extra sharp.
Yes.
And that's how I was able to do my leather.
And usually those ones are also sometimes they're labeled as for denim. So if you get denim needles, they're the ones that are usually thick enough to take on leather. So on the so I modeled out this compad thing that's going to go into, and it'll be permanently inserted into that panel on the jacket. And I wanted to put little details on it and stuff. So I modeled this thing up, and I get these buttons. This is how it comes. So
Oh, yeah.
and it's got a nice satisfying click like an arcade cabinet or whatever. But you take the little lens and you can pop it off, and you're left with just this little lens and that. So I've got I specifically ordered some orange ones. I've got a blue one, so I'm going to have 3 orange and 1 blue little tiles, almost like the rank bars that the Empire wears. They use the same kind of thing, but they're rectangles. I got round ones because the rebels were round, and so I'm kind of putting some rank thing on there. And then there's like a little microphone section on the communicator, and I made it look like Qui-Gon's communicator that was made out of the woman's razor.
Dude,
I put those details into this, so it's just a little subtle nod to the Phantom Menace.
When you showed me that, when you posted that photo in our chat, I used to have one of those razors that I stole from my mom. The exact one. Because I was like, nope, it's a Star Wars prop now. But
exactly.
They sell them on eBay for $30, dude.
Yeah, I've got one somewhere.
A razor blade.
It'd probably be hard for me to put my hands on it, but I do have one somewhere. So, and then the only other thing I've got for the workbench, I bought an embroidery machine. Now, I did not buy one of the big like multicolor $6,000 monsters that like the professionals get, but this thing was still like this machine. It doesn't sew anything other. It is an embroidery machine. So, I've got to change the colors out by hand, but it's nice. It pauses between the different colors, and so I've got like I was going to show. I've got the software that I can use, and it's not as smooth as just taking the. You can't just throw an image in there and have it trace it, and boom, you've got a patch. It doesn't work like that, but it does
like 3D printing. It doesn't work like 3D printing. You just don't turn it on and
and kind of use an image as a guide. So I dropped our logo, for example, into the software, and then I started building out a stitch program, and like I can play through it here, and you can see like it'll run through, and it'll do the I think you can see it's moving around. It'll fill in the details, and there are functions that will try and do the whole trace your image and turn it into a patch kind of a thing, but the result is not stellar. So, and I've gone through and optimized this so that like it kind of does the letters in a logical order to minimize the threads getting stuck, that you'd have to go back and because when it picks up and from one spot and moves to the next spot and goes back down, it like there's a thread there. It doesn't trim it for you. So I've got this dialed in. Like I showed you guys in the chat, like this is just, you can see like this is my first attempt at trying to do this the other day with just like what the program could come up with on its own. And then I ran it through again, and I ran out of thread on the bobbin, so it complained. But you can see like the details on this one are much crisper than the original experiment was. So there's kind of two side by side there. And again, I hadn't optimized the sequencing yet, so I've got all these trailing. I could go through and just trim those with scissors, and they'd be gone, and it would look fine. My goal is to be able to like get us some polo shirts or something and embroider the logo onto that or whatever. I'm not going to be like mass producing anything, but it's pretty fun.
One-off stuff.
Yeah,
exactly. There,
Yeah,
or you got an idea for something,
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, having fun
You're
with that.
literally you literally have computers sewing for you now.
Yeah. The software to do this is no joke. It's expensive too. It's an investment, but I'm happy. I had an old sewing machine that had an embroidery loom on it that like it would sew and you could do embroidery. I never got anything out of that was worth. Like I tried it and it was a joke. So I'm happy that I can get some quality out of this that I'm pleased with. So
It's an
Made it worth
investment.
it.
And
Yeah.
awesome.
That's it. What you got, Brian?
Nothing. It's one of those weeks.
You said you had
I'm-
Workbench.
I didn't. No.
You showed us pictures of
Oh.
your Mando this morning.
Yeah, those are just like some little greeblies. I can't. It's dark. You can't see it. I printed out a couple greeblies. I did them weeks ago, and then I finally painted it and glued it on there. I made some more stuff for the gallery for East. I took some the swizzle sticks that some of our listeners have bought. Thank you guys for buying those. I took some that didn't come out very good and made skewer. So I took 3 stormtrooper heads and did like Mandalorian skewer. So Steph, put it in the chat. Thank you very much, Steph. And made it look like those in the Mandalorian. Right? That's where they were first seen. The stakes with all the stormtrooper heads on it. So I made a couple of those with some of the heads that I didn't quite like the way the paint came out or whatever. A couple more of the myth sticks, which are a hit, which is the Mythosaur skull that Steven so wonderfully, pat yourself on the back, Steven, modeled those. Those came out beautiful. So I did a little bit of those, but man, I'm on the uphill of like work being crazy. So costume stuff's probably not going to be too much. I sold Pre Vizsla, Rip. He was there. He's gone. Went to his new home, back to California, ironically, to the brother of a kid we all know who bought my other Mando. So the 2 Mandos are living within one family, much like the Vizslas, because my Mando's name was Erp Vizsla, and then I had Pre Vizsla. They are living together. Look at that, as brothers. I didn't just realize that, really. So that's pretty cool.
Your name? Wait, what was your Mando's name? Erp
Vizsla.
Like Wyatt Earp?
Wyatt Earp. Yeah, that's why I
Nice.
named. Because I love westerns and I love Wyatt Earp and Tombstone and all that.
That's why he had the blaster right on the hip, like on the front hip.
I don't think
that
I'd ever
on the
heard him say
front.
the name.
No, that is from the movie Rampage. Well, who's the actor that's in that?
Oh, Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah,
In
he
that
always
movie Rampage, he has his gun like in front of him, and
He
he's
always does
like
that, yeah.
leaning on it. He's got swagger. Yep, which is pretty cool. No, not.
I think he does that as Negan when he does Negan too on The Walking
Does he?
Dead. It's just like one of his like actor things that he does.
That's his little
Yeah.
post.
Yeah.
Oh. Dang, Steph. I didn't even think
What?
of that. That's pretty good. I thought you just spelled pre backwards.
Happy accident.
Lee. Mind is like this right now. But I am trying to sell Imperial Crosshair. So if anyone out there is around 5'11", 185 pounds, you can go up or down. It is for sale. It is almost able to be used for 501st Legion. There's a few changes that need to be made to it. But yeah, I just need to thin the herd a little bit. I got a lot going on. I don't know if I'll be wearing that one too much anyways. Season 1 is far better, that I got to wear a few weeks ago, and that was a lot of fun. So, if you want to be awesome, it's available. It's not cheap because that was a full custom build. So you could be one of one, because there's no other one out there other than our friend Star, who made hers out of foam. But as far as
in this case, being awesome is easy, but not cheap.
That's a new slogan. Can we make that into a shirt?
Sure.
That's all I got.
I don't have anything on the workbench this week. Let me see. Yeah. Hey, Raimi.
Hey, Steven.
We're being hailed. This encryption's new. This might take a while.
Okay, so we've got our first look at some merch from Star Wars Celebration Japan, courtesy of StarWars.com. So this is up on the website there. I can get the link to. I'm sure Steph's already got it, please. So normal looking logo shirt. This is the same logo that they use across the board, with the kind of Jedi logo above the Star Wars Celebration where it's at the year. They changed the color from one to the next. So, but this is also available in various flavors of Japanese script. So women's cuts as well. Same thing. So, and then we've got the key art, which is rad.
That's the one.
Killer.
Yeah,
That's the move. That's the move right there.
I don't know why the preview is smaller. But yeah, this one's nice. So, and then there's a version of it that's in full Japanese script minus the numbers. So
that's amazing.
I like that one. I like that one too. Yeah.
That's cool.
I believe the logo will be available in both pin and patch form.
It's just in Japanese. It doesn't get any better than that. I mean, really.
Yeah, and they do that. Like there'll be posters and.
Dude, if they did
this
that
is the art that'll be on everything.
If they did that in a sick screen printed poster, like a scroll type, like on like a weathered paper. Like a very Japanese,
literally like a scroll,
that'd be
like
so
on.
sweet.
I'm sure it'll be in the
silk.
I'm sure it'll be in the store.
Yeah,
in the Celebration store.
Yeah, can you imagine that printed on silk? Right.
Yeah, tapestry hanging on the wall. Sweet.
Yeah. There'll be a tote bag. Print.
Their merch is always.
Pin.
It's very expensive.
Of course, the fan.
Of course,
it's usually pretty pricey. There's pricing in here. It's in yen. I didn't have time to do the translation. But, I mean,
that's actually pretty good because
depending on what it is, it's between 1,500 yen and 4,700 yen.
I think the exchange rate's like really favorable right now.
Okay, that's true. So typically some of this stuff, like you can usually, when you order your tickets, there's a limited amount of merch that's available to be ordered when you buy your ticket. And so like there'll be like a lanyard that'll have the logo artwork on it. The pin. I don't remember if you can, they also have like this Road to Celebration thing that they do every time that features the character key art that will be, and we haven't seen that yet. This is the logo artwork and everything, but there will be character artwork that they do for that'll be available in like the pins and t-shirts and stuff like that. And they usually call that like the Road to Celebration. So, and that usually is available to order later on between now when you get your tickets and the show itself. But typically that stuff is available. So then it drops and then they ship it to you and you've got it before you even leave to go to the show. So
I'm getting my plane tickets. I'm booking my plane tickets on Sunday.
This Sunday?
Yeah. Cause it's the first for the airline that I'm choosing. It's the first day available to book the return flight home. So we're staying there for 10 days. Well, I should say we're not staying there for 10 days because it's like a day to travel.
Japan.
So I think we leave LAX Monday and then we arrive LAX the next Wednesday.
Okay.
But yep. And then I'm gonna get my tickets on Thursday, I think. Yeah, Thursday. While I'm at Disneyland Star Wars nights.
That's right.
Yeah.
Are you going to go are you going to the park during the day, or do you just you're like me, you just have the ticket for the night thing, right?
I'm just like you. Yeah. So
we can't go till 6 p.m. right?
I think it's
usually,
5.
yeah.
I think it's fine. But let me see here.
So we'll be in the parking lot at town, or we should be somewhere at like downtown Disney, or maybe we get there early and be at downtown and then like go to the hotel or something and get on the Wi-Fi.
I'm trying to find. Go ahead. I'm trying to find who to give my shout out to for selling me the ticket, and I can't find it.
Okay. While you're looking that up, I'll move on with the news. So we've got a clip courtesy of Empire Magazine. Just part, we know that Andor is done filming. They're doing post-production work on it. We're hoping to see more of it between now. Like we might get a trailer soon, hopefully. But we've got a video clip, again, courtesy of Empire Magazine, with Cassie and Andor talking about.
Lily. Thanks, Lily. Thanks, Lily, for hooking me up on the ticket. And thanks for Darren, Dr. Sci-Fi, for looking out for me too. Sorry,
Nice.
go ahead.
So we got a clip here of Diego Luna talking about the Aldani arc and kind of filming that. So let's see. Here we go.
I remember I was asked if I wanted to rehearse with them, and I said no, not really.
Mind Baker, take one, see camera.
And I
Do we
think
get pulled if we don't talk over
They
these clips
had
too?
been
This isn't like a
rehearsing for quite
trailer or
while,
anything. I don't
and
know.
they had dynamics that I didn't understand.
Awkward.
This team was already being
It's cool
funny
seeing the
and making
costumes in
jokes,
full light like that too.
and they had like a challenge where you couldn't say a word, and if you said the word, you had to do 10 push-ups.
What?
Just Diego doing push-ups.
That's awesome. Gotta get ripped
They
somehow.
were like a team, you know, like a theater troupe. I was an outsider to that.
Stand by and action. We're not prepped for this. We don't even have enough comms as it is. We have 2 spares. That was our backup.
Clem is our backup.
We were finding out who we were and how we were gonna relate.
We have an extra uniform.
Gosh, I need to rewatch this.
Clem, cut.
There was a parallel, you know, version of what was written happening on set.
So who are we supposed to be?
Nature lovers, mystics, dead
Doing
angers.
this since I was 6 years old. How many Blu-rays
did you
get
say you
sold?
Never watched
really?
that, Brian?
What?
Did you just say while we were that you never watched that?
No, I seen to rewatch it.
Oh, okay.
Never
So
watched
what?
Andor. Come on. Who buys
So-
Blu-rays? How many of those do they really sell?
So it still blows my mind because I never put it together that the guy in that scene, on that, well, not that scene, but that whole time that they were on Aldani, Arvel Skeen, the dude with the tattoos on his stomach. Still, I still can't believe that he's the guy from the show The Bear, who is now the Thing in Fantastic Four. Like, he's such a good actor.
Same
His name's Ebon Moss Backrack. Man, I'm just because like I hated him so much in Andor, you know? Like you love to hate that guy. And I mean he's such a good actor.
Burt Bacharach.
Yeah.
Look him up, people.
We've got another clip here. So thanks to IGN, we've got a clip for Tales of the Empire. And this one features face-off between the Night Sisters and General Grievous. So here we go. Oh, it is not playing automatically. Okay, here we go. Let's try that again.
Stay back. Seti natural time masi.
Dude, Morgan Elsbeth is so
cool.
like so good in there.
So awesome.
So this is obviously pre Ahsoka.
Yeah,
Morgan
this is-
has
this is-
like all
this
of
is
the,
during the Clone Wars. This is
she
during the
had
Clone Wars
all
when,
like the facial details and everything of the Night Sisters, but then we didn't see her with that until the end. Like what happened? Like why were they there in this and then
animated,
they're
dude.
not there
They're-
on her at some point and then they come back?
taking liberties. They're taking liberties with
because
it being
it's
animated.
because when her sisters all die, she like disconnects from their force, not their force, but their coven magic.
You made that up.
Yeah, but it
Okay.
makes sense. Dude, the animation in there for Tales of the Empire is just insane.
I know, and they're making heavy use of motion capture, and they've got some of the best in the business at taking that and translating it from the body doubles that they use into what we see on screen. It's fantastic.
There's stuff in there that looks like it should be live action already, you know? And I know we had talked about this when Tales of the Jedi came out. And when Tales of the Jedi came out, we were the same thing. We were so shocked at how good the animation looked. And then we were like, man, I really hope that they use this in the future for Bad Batch or whatever. And then here we are now looking at the final season of Bad Batch saying the same things.
Yeah.
And they're just still making leaps and bounds with these new animated shows.
The animation's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go back and watch the Clone Wars film.
Yeah.
and
yeah.
And look at the animation and compare it to what we've got now. It's just crazy. And yet you never felt like there was a moment where it felt jarring to go from one to the next. Like they did it so smoothly over all these years. All right. My cat has been I don't think she's feeling good. She's been very clingy today. So here she is. So last up in the news. So Hot Toys and Sideshow have been revealing figures. They've got a Power of the Dark Side line that they've revealed. So first up, we've got BT1, which was Dr. Afra's Astromech, I believe, and 000. And 000's got like all kinds of crazy
got a lot of attachments going
attachments and stuff. Yeah, and all the little death fingers and everything. In addition to that, we've got Starkiller and Darth Revan. I'm bummed John's not here. The Revan looks really good. I mean, these all look great. These two, Starkiller and Revan, look really good. We also got a Stormtrooper. I have a complaint about the Stormtrooper.
Okay.
Why the heck do they keep making Return of the Jedi Stormtrooper figures?
The ribs.
The jankiest Stormtrooper ever.
Yeah.
Like they didn't, it's not, Rogue One's not based off of it. A New Hope, like nobody does this Stormtrooper. It's got the extra trim around the body. It's got the ESB hand plates. Like
probably the only mold they have left.
This is like nerdy stuff that nobody realizes, but like this is like the last Stormtrooper you should make an action figure of.
They don't want to redo the mold, so they're just like, hey,
fine, release the Rogue One. They've got the Rogue One mold still.
That's true, yeah.
The Mandalorian, the Remnant Mandalorian Stormtrooper was based off the Rogue One mold.
I feel like I'm having deja vu here. Did we talk about this one already?
This figure?
Yeah. Or was this just announced?
This is part of their Power of the Dark Side release.
Wow. So okay. Or maybe I'm just seeing the same figure again. They're just
reusing. But I mean, I think that's kind of what Brian and I are saying. Like it's basically a re-release. They did do a Return of the Jedi Stormtrooper, and that one was branded as such. But
it's like just it's like just their idealized generic Stormtrooper.
But that's what Rogue One is supposed to be, not this monstrosity. Yeah. I sound like such a dork complaining about
Hot Toys
this Stormtrooper versus that one, but this is not the best.
This action figure.
Yeah. Listen, normally, if you want to go down a Vader rabbit hole, we could go down all the different versions of Darth Vader.
Dude, yeah. There's if you go down the Hot Toys and Sideshow, not even the Sideshow, but just the Hot Toys versions of all the Vaders. Oof. There's some people that get heated on those.
Yeah. The next two were not part of that Power of the Dark Side campaign, but we also kind of in the same wave. We've got a chromed out Commander Cody. These chrome figures are like, when I saw them, like they were gimmicky, but I've seen them in person and they're actually kind of cool. Like they look good in person, but then you look at it online, you're like, I don't know, why would I buy that? That's not what it looks like.
Don't photograph well at all.
Yeah, but they look good. Like I don't know about. There's something about doing the chrome in just the generic grunt trooper, like the TK, the generic clone. I don't know about doing specific characters like a Cody or a Rex, for example, in the chrome. I'm not sure that works as good. And then we've got a Clone Wars era, but Ahsoka, Anakin, and
What's so funny,
on his
Brian?
face?
My point is the sculpt on that face is dead on.
It
So
definitely is.
they're really crushing the head sculpts right now.
I almost ordered this one because I missed out on the artisan Anakin that had the real hair.
I have this Anakin with the Revenge of the Sith head on it.
Okay.
So it was the same one that you could get with the stat, but I didn't get the one that came with the stat. But I do have the figure that's this body with the Revenge of the Sith head. It looks good, but we've now seen this in the show, so this is what it really should look like.
The problem that I have is like these are not small figures, so
no.
I mean, I've been talking about curating my collection for weeks now. It's like I like a figure like this Anakin, like I want it so bad, but I don't know where it would go. Like it's not gonna
match.
Yep.
Although would he fit with Bad Batch? He did go on a mission with the Batch.
Not this look. It was the brown. It was the return of the Revenge of the Sith looking Anakin.
Was it?
Yeah. He didn't have the blue and burgundy outfit on anymore for that.
Oh yeah, you're right, because it was Order 66.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
So
one of the coolest things Filoni ever did was when he created the Clone Wars, how he made Anakin's armor look like Darth Vader. Such a cool, and to most people they probably don't even notice it, but it's like the lines and everything.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
But
it's like poetry.
Yeah, in addition to that, Obi-Wan had the same style yoke, but in white to contrast the black and the white and the light and the dark, and then the rest of Obi-Wan's armor was more like clone armor, like he had the gauntlets and things like that. So it's even woven through at an even deeper level because Obi-Wan's wearing frickin' Vader chest armor too, but just in white. So yeah, so as we've got on the bottom of the screen here, don't forget you can send articles in to have us talk about them on the show by emailing your finds at news@thedadbatch.com. And that is it for the news.
Thanks, Ramey.
We've done these 1,000 times, boys. You know what to do.
When have we ever followed orders?
All right, full spoilers ahead. This week's episode review is The Bad Batch, Season 3, Episode 14, Flash Strike, with an original Disney Plus air date of April 24th, 2024. This episode was directed by Nathaniel Villanueva, written by showrunner Brad Rao, story editor Matt Miktovitz, with music by Kevin, Sean, and Deanna Kiner. In a Disney Plus description, the odds are against the Batch as they operate behind enemy lines. Gentlemen, what did you think of this episode? My point of view on this episode, my opinions, I loved it. I really feel like this is the penultimate episode. This is it. And I really feel like this is one of the episodes that I wouldn't mind going back to watch again. It felt very Act 1 of A New Hope. You know, like even the way that the episode starts, the music of like the opening music of this there was A New Hope motifs in there. The Kiners are just killing it every week on the music, but man, they really amp you up. Let me see if I can get this going here.
Dude, I love that shot. I loved it. Just
You hear that? The little trumpet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very A New Hope, man. Yeah. Just other things that I thought about this episode. I don't want to spoil any. I don't want to go too far ahead from you guys, but I thought the character development in here for Echo was just amazing. We'll talk about Hemlock and my points of view, our points of view on him as we go through the breakdown. I love what they're doing with Omega. It's like this back half of the season is just leaps and bounds, I think, for Omega, her development as a character. And with every episode, I really do think that if she goes off on her own by the end of next week's episode, I have no problem with her being on her own. I mean, she's a leader. She's got it. Gentlemen, you know what? This week's episode was mostly with our hero Echo. So Raimi, go ahead.
I really got to hand it to them for this episode. I see what I did there.
Let me give you a
So, I mean, things that are classic Star Wars, jokes about characters losing a hand. We got Echo getting a hand, which we've wanted to see. I've wanted to see since honestly, like the beginning of the show, because Hot Toys released that Echo figure and they gave him multiple arms, including a hand. So, and we thought, like, I even have the hand. Somebody messaged me. They're like, you should make the hand now. I'm like, I found a picture of me from London when I had the hand on, and I'm like, zoom in on this picture.
Here you go.
It's almost like you knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, well, I was a season off, but we've got it finally. I'm trying to like, did we ever actually see him use the hand? Did the hand articulate? Like, can he move the stomp arm inside there and have the hand move?
No,
like,
I mean, he was holding his gun and everything.
Yeah,
it just kind of sat there, like
sits there and rests on there, whatever. But I, also any character that's a good guy that like is sneaking around wearing stormtrooper armor. You see it in A New Hope. We see Ezra do it. Ezra and Kanan do it how many times? Even Rex, in Rebels. So we finally got to see. I've been waiting for somebody to put on this TK armor, so I'm kind of glad it was Echo.
when he's holding his rifle with his little tip of his gun.
Yeah.
It's so weird looking. The tip was sticking out. Oh man,
tip.
Just the tip.
I'd like Omega sneaking off, running through the air conditioning ducts or whatever it was, and then she sees the Zillo beast, and then she comes back and she's like, I know how we're gonna get out. So you just know they're gonna like set this thing loose, and all heck is gonna break loose. This thing's gonna rip through the facility and create the distraction that they need to get out.
Did you guys get vibes? Well, I mean, I did. Like when they started showing the Zillo Beast, and then just all the weird stuff they do at Tantus. Like I was like, oh, it's just like the island on Lost. Is it like, you got the polar bear and the smoke monster and like all the weird experiments. It's like the same thing. Like this Hemlock dude he's weird.
All the experiments.
And you know what? What else I was thinking is they refer to where the children are as being in the vault, right?
Yes.
But in the episode with Palpatine, when he was visiting Tantus, Hemlock took him into a different vault, also known as the Vault, with whatever we think those are. We think they're like stasis chambers or coffins or something.
Yeah.
But they haven't addressed that at all since then.
It's a good call.
Mm-hmm.
So what the heck is that? Like we're going into the final episode, guys.
I think we're gonna find out.
Brian, what did you think of this episode?
The beginning when it started and they were glued on the bottom of the ship there, that was so cool because this episode started, and it was just like we're on a rocket ship of just heaviness. It's all going down. When Omega was sitting there, and the kids are like, "What's that noise?" And she's like, "It's my brothers." That was like, I got so hyped at that point because it was that just you knew that was she just knew, she knew that was happening. I'm so dense too. I didn't catch the Zillow Beast when they were shooting it. And Joe in our chat was like, "Oh, the Zillow Beast," and I was like, "Oh, that's what that was." I think I was so psyched about everything that was going on, I just didn't even like register on me that the Zillow Beast was there. But
We still don't have any confirmation why Palps is like in love with this beast. I mean, obviously it's like indestructible and gets bigger if you blast it, and you can't kill it. Like, I think Anakin even jumped on it at one point and his lightsaber couldn't cut it.
I think he
But
wanted
we
to be
still
like Nazgul. He wanted to ride
this
it.
is like the third or fourth time that we've seen the Empire in possession of the Zillow Beast, and we still don't know why.
Yeah.
We might not get that answer in this show.
I'm not sure, but I don't know how we're gonna wrap this up next week. We're gonna need like a 2-hour long episode. So
I don't think we're gonna wrap it up. I think if you guys really think about it, this is the penultimate episode, and there's so many loose threads that they haven't wrapped up that they can't wrap up next week.
Yeah, I mean,
is the runtime noted for next week?
It's clear.
Oh,
they have not announced the runtime for next week. I mean, it's
it.
clear that 30 minutes is not enough.
No,
but let me ask: is an hour enough?
I mean, they did the Clone Wars finale in like what, 4 episodes?
Yeah,
and a half. I could see them doing I could see them next week. Next week is episode 15, and the previous 2 seasons we've had 16 episodes. I could see them dropping like an episode 15 and 16 at the same time.
Right.
Like, without even telling us. They're just like, "Oh, here, by the way, 2 episodes," but they're just going to play them back to back or something.
But it was it was super cool when they crash landed the ship, and then we're running around. Right, that was this episode when they're running around with Rampart in the forest. Or was that last episode?
Yes.
Yeah. And then they were going through that whole thing, and then you were like, "Oh shoot, Echo, he's on that ship. Like, what's gonna happen?" But Echo went to work. He didn't waste no time. Put that TK armor on. When he confronted Emery, that was a super cool moment. And obviously Emery that was the other thing. When Omega said, "Oh, it's my brothers, they're coming for me." And then when Echo was like, "How could you do that to your people, to the clones?" Because he's the Emery. He said, "You're a clone. How could you do that to your people?" That was like, she didn't even think about it. She switched right away. So that was cool.
Yeah, because clearly Emery's. I mean, I think they've been telegraphing Emery's going to be part of the rescue in some capacity.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I feel like that scene right there between the two of them talking was a very, I don't want to say underrated, but I think it's a very important scene.
Yeah,
because you've got Emery, who in all honesty, she's just doing what she was told to do. And much like Echo said,
do.
Much like Echo said, it's something that we've all heard before.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter on what side that you're on, the good side or the bad side, you always think that you're doing the right thing. So it was. And then when Echo takes his helmet off, he shows her like, I'm I'm like the epitome of scientific research and experimentation.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yep.
just it was like that hit for
Yep.
me when that scene happened.
Yeah. Echo's got ears still.
Dude,
Good
this
enough.
was this episode. Oh, that's right. He wasn't wearing his thing, huh?
Nope. No, and
Oh.
he left all that stuff behind. Like he ain't going back onto the ship to go get it later. It's gone. His armor's gone. His headset's gone.
He's in a TK suit the rest of this.
That's it. That's it. When they do the Echo show after this, he's going to be running around as a TK undercover.
Are you going to build this, Raimi? It's essentially just a TK with a hand.
Well,
He has a stormtrooper.
It's a McQuarrie TK is what it is.
Oh,
yeah,
shoot.
but and then you could just wear like the droid glove.
Mhm.
That's it. You're good.
Mhm.
Glue some things on your head. This was really Echo's. I think this was Echo's episode. It was really nice to just see him shine between the infiltration in the beginning and the infiltration while he's on Tantus was just as exciting. Was it just me or did he get his scomp thing stuck a couple times before it eventually got stuck in the end? Or am I imagining that?
I didn't catch it if that did.
It kind of felt like, I don't know, like when he was on the ship and he I don't know, plugged in for the first time, it was fine. And then when he plugged in on Tantus, it was like he couldn't, it was like a hard pull out. And then when he was in the lab with Emery, it got stuck and he had to like, and that's what that's what gave her the opportunity to like see like, hey, what's going on over there? Yeah, but just I mean, Echo, dude, even the way he like left the ship through the same tube of the droid, like
yeah.
Dude, he made the boss moves, man. But it was cool.
Side note, the droid, the RA7 droid that he took the hand from, is voiced by a friend of the show, Steven Stanton, who is known for voicing all the RA7 droids in Rebels.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
And I love the way that Hemlock in this episode, rather than being like the villain who when he's told by Scorch that there's a security breach, rather than being that villain who's like, whoa, security breach, what do you mean? He was just straight up like doing exactly what any of us would do. Like, okay, lock down the base, send the fighters out, full alert. Like he was not messing around. He was like, oh, the ship's here, scan the ship, scan every part of the ship. Like he was finally like a competent bad guy, I guess you could say, which I liked.
So with them there, he's shutting it down. Do you think he called in like support? Do we think Wolf's going to show back up?
Ooh.
Because it's Clone Force 99, right? He knows, right? Because immediately, Scorch was like, Clone Force 99's here. He's like, all right, shut it down. Do this, this, and this. Do you think he put out like a notice? Like, because he's going to know he needs help. He's got a base full of derelicts and Scorch. Like, they can't take down Clone Force 99. Like,
I wouldn't put it past Hemlock, because at this point, for how secure this dude is, I mean, this is the guy who doesn't even give the coordinates out to the Empire of the location.
Yeah.
Like he literally has the computer talk to the computer for coordinates, and that's it. I would not be surprised if next week we do see all the clones that are in service to the Empire arrive for like some sort of backup or something.
I could just see, because that was the other thing too, when Echo was plugged in, how he was flipping through all the clones.
Yeah.
Right? and he said we got to save we got to save everybody.
I was
Like-
waiting to see Dave Filoni's face.
And Wolf already kind of seemed a little torn when him and Rex. So like, does Rex show up? Does Wolf show up? I mean, maybe I'm just wishing for something, but like, it would be cool to have this moment where like everybody shows up and they release the rest of the clones, like, and get a big fight. Like,
I honestly think that everything that we want to see, if you think about it, all the stuff that we want to see is probably going to happen in Tales of the Empire. But I think the continuation of everything that's been going on in the Clone Wars and the Bad Batch, I really think we're going to see another series that they're going to drop on us.
I agree.
It could call it Star Wars, the Path, the Dark Times, call it whatever you want, but I think it's going to be, and I think it's going to be the continuation of not necessarily the clones, but everything to do with what happens after this, the ramifications that we're going to see after this next episode.
We'll see.
I agree. I think we're going to get another show.
I don't think so.
And I think there's this a prediction, but I think that's the reason why they have done what they've done with doubling episodes up and things like that to get things lined up for May the 4th.
Yeah. But would they announce another show when they're dropping a show? Like,
but they're dropping a 6-episode one-off kind of a thing. So,
but we have Acolyte coming out in June, right? June, I think. So, like, would they announce another show before another show comes out?
I don't know why not. It's animated, so it's different.
It's like different. Okay. I mean, I'm there for it. Just imagine like if it was I'm just putting this out there. What I would like to see is you don't necessarily have to give us a show like what we've gotten with the Bad Batch, where it's a story thread based over 16 episodes. I would almost be happy with like a serialized show like Tales, where it's just the path, and every 2 or 3 episodes, almost like Clone Wars, you've got like, okay, this story arc is going to be for these Jedis on their path, or this story arc is going to be for these clones trying to find a planet to hide out on. I don't know. Nope. What are you shaking your head for, Brian?
It's over. It's over.
Brian really wants it to be over.
It's over.
Brian must not have
things
liked
just
it.
end, you guys. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes things just end.
Why can't the Bad Batch continue? What's wrong with being on an island eating sushi? Come on.
My point, I don't know that the Bad Batch needs to continue, but I don't know that they need to die just because we don't see
Here is my point. Yeah. Here's my point. Here's all I'll say. Clone Force 99, they're the most feared group. They're the guys, they're the lethal, they're the whatever from the past. So you're telling me,
are they though? Because look what they did in season 2. They just became mercenaries.
Yeah, but okay, whatever. Look at how down the path of good that they've gone now. We got to get the clones out. They love Omega, right? Like they've humanized themselves more. So you're going to tell me they get out of this. So take Bad Batch, this story out. What happens from here on off in Star Wars? All kinds of crazy stuff. And they're just chilling like, it's not our problem.
Yeah, because for the next 19 years after this, it's the Dark Times.
Yeah, and they just don't care. They're just chilling. They're
well, it's not that they don't care.
There's nothing you can do about it.
They can't do anything. The Empire's too big, man.
We're all gonna die. Sorry.
The same thing happened with Rex and Gregor and Wolf. They went off on a planet and just chilled. Yeah.
I gotcha. Island fat.
Also, shout out to Nashir Dalal, the guy who plays the voice for Rampart. I mean, he had some pretty good screaming lines in this episode, whether it was falling off of the ship with a broken zip line or getting chased by that monster in the forest. Yeah, he definitely earned his paycheck on this one. And then the fire. We talked about the animation earlier, but when the ship went down in the forest, man, it was like that was
So
the animation there was as good as anything out of live action. Let me see if I can bring it up here.
Look at that.
Like,
It's just so crazy.
You could pull that. You could pull that out of any other CG in any other franchise. Yeah, I love this episode. It was so good. I love how Crosshair calls Rampart dead weight.
It's so good. There was a lot of one-liners that I just can't remember right now. And dude, I'm getting blown up in the chat. They've literally been saying to Rex, the Empire is too big. You can't fight this. Rex came back, just for the record. Rex came back. Where was the Bad Batch?
Yeah, but he came back because of Ahsoka.
Doesn't matter.
Of a Jedi. He came back because of a Jedi.
So he can't call his boys back? He's obviously made a connection with Bad Batch. All the other stuff they got into, he couldn't call for some help. Rogue One.
He probably would have called for help if Crosshair wasn't dead.
Rogue One ending. It's coming.
For Crosshair.
Accept it all, people.
Just for Crosshair.
I'll go down in flames. That's fine. Kill me.
All right. Well, next week's episode is episode 15, the finale of, I should say, the series finale. Series finale of the Bad Batch. Next week's episode is The Cavalry Has Arrived.
Is that the name? Oh my god.
No runtime on it released yet. Yeah.
I think there's a reason for that.
I was so jazzed on this episode. I was like bouncing off the walls watching it.
May 1st. All right. That does it for the episode review.
Good one. Good one. Hot and heavy. Oh. No music. Just art. Just the logo.
Is there an echo in here?
Yes.
What?
I'm Echo.
I think Echo should start since this says.
Okay. Am I up? Okay. So this one was sent in by our buddy Zach, aka Dad2Een on Instagram. He says, a priest, a rabbit, and a minister walk into a bar. The bartender asks the rabbit, "What do you have?" The rabbit says, "I don't know. I'm only here because of autocorrect."
That's pretty good.
I never know if Steven's waiting because he doesn't get it or if he's looking for the sound or what.
It's a rabbi. We need a hand joke is what we need. Gotta give you a hand. Oh, Kara said it. You got to add this hand joke. You got to add the hand joke to the intro now. What's the hand joke? I'll look for it. I store all my dad jokes in my database.
Do you guys know that dogs can't operate MRI scans, but cats can?
Misty approves that one.
Oh man, that was good. That's pretty awesome. That might be it.
I think that's it. I only had the one.
Yeah, that was all.
Do you guys know why the toilet seat? Why did the toilet seat cry? She got dumped.
Is there an echo in here?
Yes,
What?
I'm Echo.
Go.
Well, I think that's going to do it for us today, guys. If you enjoyed listening, feed that algorithm and leave a 5-star review on your podcast app. Be sure to include that cake emoji in your review. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit subscribe, hit like, ring the bell, leave a comment, do all the YouTube things. And just remember, you can be entered in to win the Alpha Ignition helmet of your choice, casted by the Dad Batch and painted by our very own Tech.Bad Batch Joe Lara.
Who should
You can
that
follow
must
me.
be?
Oh yeah, they will. You can follow me at stevie.kicks on Instagram, sometimes on X and Threads. Apparently not on TikTok anymore.
Banned. Did we have a TikTok?
I think we did. I think we do. Gentlemen, let the listeners know where they could find you, Brian.
Dad Batch Pod. Let's do that.
And Raimi.
Thedadbatch.com and my new Instagram handle, Pabu Life.
Pabu Frick.
Pabu Frick.
Pabu Frick. Sorry.
Pabu Life is available.
I was gonna say. I was gonna add. So thank you guys who responded to our stories asking for your favorite moments from the show. I think a lot of people misunderstood and thought we were talking about the Bad Batch as the show, but we're looking for your favorite moments from the podcast. So feel free to reach out and hit us up and send us your thoughts on that. We're looking to put a list together. So help us out. We want to hear from you.
You can find John at Alpha Ignition on all the socials, and you can find Joe at tech.badbatch on all the socials. Thank you again, everybody, for listening to episode 89 of the Dad Batch podcast. Be sure to tune in next week for the Bad Batch series finale and our episode 90. And until next time, enjoy your spice responsibly.